Day by day, our magistrates' courts hear thousands of cases. In the name of the Queen, we meet together to seek justice.
You are Edward George Bray.
Yes, sir.
You are charged with 2 offences in which you have the right to be tried by a judge and a jury, but if you wish, you may be tried here by the magistrates. However, if you are tried here and are convicted, the magistrates may, after hearing all about you, decide that their powers of punishment are not sufficient and commit you to a higher court for you to be sentenced there. Do you understand?
I represent the defendant, madam. He wishes to be tried here and pleads not guilty.
Yes, well, he must make the choice himself. Mr. Bray, where do you wish to be tried?
Here.
You are charged that on September the 6th, 1972, you did indecently assault a girl at the age of 13, Pauline Poole, at 4 Canal Cottages, West Felling. How do you plead?
Not guilty.
I beg your pardon?
Not guilty, sir.
You were further charged that on March the 11th, 1973, you did indecently assault Pauline Poole at the same address. How do you plead to this charge?
Oh, I didn't insult her.
No, Mr. Bray. It is alleged that you assaulted her, indecently assaulted her. Now, how do you plead?
Not guilty.
No.
Sit down, Mr. Bray. I appear on behalf of the prosecution. My learned friend, Mr. Goodman, appears on behalf of the defendant, Bray.
Yes, Mr. Atkinson.
The prosecution's case is that the girl, Pauline Poole, who was a frequent visitor at the defendant's house for the past year, was assaulted in an indecent manner on 2 occasions. Once on September the 6th, 1972, and again on March the 11th of this year. The prosecution offers no medical evidence, as it is not alleged that intercourse took place. But the allegation is that the defendant on those 2 occasions fondled the buttocks and the intercrural areas of the child's body. Following a complaint made to the police on March the 12th by Mrs. Poole, the child's mother, inquiries were made, and you will hear evidence from the child herself that she was indecently handled on 2 occasions. Firstly, when she sat on his lap to watch television on the evening of the first day of the school term, which was September 6th. Secondly, when he got into bed with her when she was sleeping at his house on the night of March the 11th. Corroborative evidence will be given by a neighbour. On March the 13th, a detective sergeant made inquiries and interviewed the defendant at his house. He denied that the indecency occurred on either of the 2 dates in question. Further investigations were made. The accused was arrested on the 21st of March at his home at 6 p.m. by Detective Sergeant Wheatley. As first witness, I shall call Mrs. Edith Taylor.
Mrs. Edith Taylor.
Mrs. Taylor.
Mrs. Taylor, where does your house lie in relation to the house of the defendant?
Next door. We shared an entry with them.
Would you be able to see anyone who called at number 4?
Yes, I'd have to pass our door.
Would you be able to say who was the most frequent visitor at number 4?
Pauline Poole, no doubt about it. I mean, she practically lived there.
How often would you say she visited the house?
Every weekend, and once or twice in the week at least.
Do you remember anything particular about the early evening of September the 6th?
Oh, yes, well, I was just getting some radishes
Yes, well,
from the backyard,
what did you see
see.
at that time?
Well, I glanced up, and I saw Eddie Bray sprawled in a chair, and Pauline was sitting on his lap.
How were they dressed?
Well, she had just a sort of sunsuit on, and he'd just got vest and trousers. I mean, she'd got no skirt, no nothing to speak of. You know, I could see her legs
Could you
and
see
everything.
what they were
there.
doing?
Well, yes, I mean, I was staggered in. You know, I did cross the yard to get a better look. Well, I mean, I wouldn't have normally done that, but I mean, I don't meddle, make with others or anything like that, but I thought it was very funny. I mean, I could see they'd got the television on, but, well, he was stroking her.
Could you see where he was stroking her?
Well, yes. On her...
To which part of her body are you referring, Mrs. Taylor?
Was that on her...
Her bottom?
Yes.
And what did you do then?
Well, I was very upset, and I went down to that caravan site, you know, Bel Air, to tell Mrs. Poole, her mother, about it. But she said, well, you can beat it off down the road.
Mrs. Taylor, you're not allowed to tell us what other people said.
Oh, yes.
Mrs. Taylor, can you remember the night of March the 11th?
Oh, yes. That's the night I got up to shut the gate because it was banging.
Did you see anything in the house next door?
Yes, I saw Eddie Bray pulling the curtains at the window.
Which window?
The spare room. You see, the light was on, and I could see Pauline sitting up in bed. I mean, Eddie pulled the curtains, but I could still see his shadow on the window.
Did you hear anything?
Yes, I heard a scream.
Do you know who was screaming?
Well, it was Pauline. I mean, I'd know her voice anywhere.
Mrs. Taylor, do you have any children?
Oh, yes, got a girl, Melanie. She's 12.
Did you let Melanie visit Mr. Bray?
Oh, no, no. I didn't think it was right.
Thank you, Mrs. Taylor.
Please stay where you are, Mrs. Taylor.
Mrs. Taylor, you say that on this occasion to which you've referred, both the defendant and the little girl were rather scantily dressed.
Oh, yes, I got next to nothing on.
Do you remember what kind of a day it was on September the 6th?
Ordinary day.
Isn't it true that September the 6th was the second hottest day in a rather bleak summer? A day on which the temperature reached 28 degrees centigrade? Most people, would you not agree, were probably rather scantily clad on that day. You say they were watching television.
Well, they'd got the television on, I said.
Why do you feel they were not watching it?
Well, I said he was stroking her.
Did his manner suggest this activity was engaging all his attention? Or could it be that he was merely absent-mindedly patting her, as we have probably all patted children?
Oh, no, definitely not. No.
Was anybody else present in the room?
Oh, you mean his mother, Mrs. Bray? Oh, but she ain't got all her chairs at home,
You
see.
saw the defendant's mother also sitting in the living room. Please try to answer yes or no.
Yes.
Would you say the Brays were good neighbours, Mrs. Taylor? Would it be true to say you didn't like the Brays very much?
Well, no, not really. See, they're not normal, you see. They're not normal.
Quite. Now,
you see.
what action did you take after you had witnessed this scene in the living room?
Well, I mean, as I said, I was very upset. I thought about it a few days and went down to see Mrs. Poole, but, well, she didn't seem to want to know about it.
Was she upset?
Well, no, not as far as I could see. I mean, I said to her, if you don't want to know what's happening to your Pauline, I feel very sorry for you. And she said, well, beat
Yes,
it
well,
off
thank you,
down the
Mrs.
road,
Taylor.
she
That's
said.
all I wanted to know about that. Thank you. Now, on the night of March the 11th, you say you saw Mr. Bray at the window. How do you know that was the spare room?
Well, it's only used when Pauline stays there.
I see. You say you heard a scream. Was this before or after you saw the shadows at the window?
Oh, I can't really remember. It was such a shock, a scream in the night like that. It was
Yes,
very upsetting,
Wasn't it perhaps the scream which caused you to get up and go to the garden gate?
Oh, I'm not really sure. I don't think so. I can't really remember,
Thank you, Mrs. Taylor.
No re-examination, thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Taylor. You may stand down.
Thank you.
This way, madam, please.
I should like to call Mrs. Poole, the mother of Pauline.
Mrs. Poole!
What is your full name
Elizabeth Margaret Rose Poole,
and your address?
number 47 plot, Bel Air Mobile Home Park, Brinkfield.
Thank you.
Mrs. Poole, how long have you known the defendant?
Too long.
It's all right, Mrs. Poole. Take your time. Don't worry. Take your time.
Sorry.
That's all right. You can answer the questions in your own time. All right?
I've known him for years, but he only became what you might call a friend of the family about 18 months ago.
Now, how did he become, as you say, a friend of the family?
He'd come to see me, to ask me if Pauline could go and visit him sometimes. He had no children of his own.
How many other children have you, Mrs. Poole?
2.
Would you tell us something about them, please?
Well, Debbie's 7 and she's all
Mrs.
right.
Poole,
but
will you please address your answers to the magistrates?
well, Debbie's 7 and she's all right, but Barry is 11 and he has fits. He's epileptic.
You live in a mobile home, don't you?
A caravan.
Quite. Now, could you tell the court something about the sleeping arrangements in the caravan?
Oh, it's terrible. He and Mr. Poole have to have Debbie to sleep with us. And Pauline was sleeping with Barry. Well, his fits can be very nasty, so she used to sleep on the floor rather than put up with them.
Did the defendant ever offer to help you with your difficulties in accommodation?
Yes, he did. He said that Pauline could go and stay at Uncle Eddie's house any time she wanted.
Did you have any doubts about letting Pauline stay with the
No,
Brays?
none at all. I mean, we thought he was trying to help us out of kindness, not worming his way in so he could get my little girl into his house.
Of course, madam, that is one of the questions you will have to decide.
Mrs. Poole, could you describe in detail Pauline's frame of mind after that last evening she spent with the
She
Brays?
definitely wasn't herself. I mean, a mother can tell.
And what did you do?
Well, I didn't know what to do. Mr. Poole said to go to the police, so that's what I did, and they started making inquiries.
Mrs. Poole, could you afford to buy yourself a house?
No. Well, Mr. Poole's been out of work for over a year.
Thank you, Mrs. Poole. I have no further questions.
Mrs. Poole, why is Pauline's father not in court today?
Well, you see, Pauline and Barry aren't his kiddies. They belong to my first husband. He deserted me.
So Mr. Poole is Pauline's stepfather?
Yes.
Is he fond of Pauline, would you say?
Yes, he's been more than a father to her.
But hasn't come to court today. Was Mr. Bray a close personal friend of yours?
No, he wasn't. I felt sorry for him more than anything. People used to say he wasn't, he wasn't 100%. Well, it's obvious.
So you were happy to leave your daughter in the charge of someone you thought was none too bright?
Well, he was all right.
Now, on September the 7th, on or about that date, did you receive a visit from Mrs. Taylor?
Oh, well, yes, she did pop round.
Was she disturbed by something she had seen?
Well, yes, but I never took no notice.
Why was that?
Well, she'd been round before causing trouble, and she wouldn't let my Pauline play with her Melanie. She thought we were rubbish because we live on a caravan site, and I thought she was trying to get back at me.
Did Pauline have many friends?
Well, no, not on the site, but it was when she had the chance to visit someone in a proper house. I was all for it.
How often did she stay the night at Mr. Bray's house?
Oh, there's no telling. I mean, she used to go for the weekend. She used to stay the night sometimes.
Wasn't prearranged?
Oh, no, not as a rule.
What is your relationship with Pauline like?
I'm a mother.
Do you love her?
Oh, yes.
Do you often punish her?
No.
Does Mr. Poole ever punish her?
Well, he don't hit her. I mean, he's good to her.
How long have you lived on the Bel Air site, Mrs. Poole?
2 years.
Before that, didn't you live in a council house in Lichborough?
Well, yes.
Why did you move?
Well, Mr. Poole's job took him away.
Weren't you, in fact, evicted for non-payment of rent amounting to £47.33?
Oh, no, I was nowhere near that. No, I'd been paying it off. It wasn't worth the money. It was damn.
How much do you earn, Mrs. Poole?
£11 a week.
And your husband receives unemployment benefit?
No, not now. He gets social security, and I get 40p a week special needs allowance for Barry.
So any extra money you would find very welcome? Yeah. Mr. Bray used to give you money, did he not?
Well, it was only £1 or two.
How often was this money given?
Well, not very often, and I used to see him sometimes of a Friday down by the Constitutional Club, and he'd press it on me, and...
Didn't you think it odd that these transactions should take place?
Oh, no, they were for Pauline. I used it to buy clothes for her so she'd look nice.
Thank you, Mrs. Poole.
Well, shall I go?
Do you wish to re-examine
No,
Mr.
thank you.
Atkinson? Do your worships wish to ask any questions?
No questions, no. You may step down, Mrs. Poole.
This way.
Your worships, my next witness is the girl herself. She's only 13, but I should say the prosecution is conducted on the basis that she is a competent witness.
Very well. Even so, I think we should question her very sparingly.
Shouldn't we clear the court? They do overact so when they sense an audience.
Yes, that's true. Do you agree?
Yes, I agree.
Right. We'll have the court cleared for this child's evidence. I would like to remind the press that they must publish no reference to this girl's identity. And that, of course, includes her address and any other details that may emerge.
Will you all clear, please, and as quickly as possible, please? I'm afraid so, Madam. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You may call the girl now.
Miss Pauline Poole.
This way, Pauline. Oh, I'm very sorry, madam.
It'll be quite in order for you to come and sit here.
Thank you, ma'am. Come on, Pauline.
Yes, and you too, Mrs. Poole, if you wish.
Yeah, okay. Now, mind that step. That's right.
Pauline, you're going to be asked to take the oath. Now, that means that you have to swear to tell the truth on the Holy Bible. Do you know what that means, to tell the truth?
Oh, yes.
Do you know what religion you are, Pauline?
Well, I believe in Jesus and God and everything.
Yes.
Now, I want you to take the Bible in your right hand and read the words on the card.
I swear by Almighty God that the evidence I shall give in this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Thank you.
Could you tell the court your full name, Pauline?
Pauline Teresa Poole.
And how old are you?
13, May the 12th. Taurus.
Now, Pauline, this gentleman, Mr. Atkinson, is going to ask you some questions. And I want you to give your answers to the lady and gentleman sitting there. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Pauline, can you tell us when you first met Mr. Bray?
Well, I'd seen him time and time again, only I never talked to him. But one day he stopped me and Melanie and showed us some of his big horse mushrooms he gathered. He cooked them in a tin and gave us some.
Was that last year?
The summer before last.
Now, did he stop and talk to you, or did you stop and talk to him?
He stopped us. He liked my dress.
And after that, did you see Uncle Eddie a lot?
Oh, yes. Kids used to go up the gorse and he used to help us light fires.
Now, Pauline, what made you go to Mr. Bray's house?
He kept asking me.
And what did you do?
I told me Mum.
Am I right that you were given permission?
Well, not at first, but then he came to see me Mum and she said I could because his nan was there and she'd be glad of the company.
Were there occasions when you stayed at his house at night?
Oh, yes, lots of times.
Was Mr. Bray kind to you, Pauline?
Well, he was. He used to buy me things if I asked for them.
Did other children visit as well?
No. Melanie used to. She lives next door, but her mum stopped her.
Did you enjoy going to the house?
Yes, I did, until he started doing things.
And what kind of things did he do?
Kissed and cuddled me a lot.
Now, Pauline, can you remember what happened on September the 6th? That was the first day of the school term.
Yes.
Did you visit Uncle Eddie that evening?
Yes, we watched Crossroads on the telly. He made me sit on his lap and started playing with the strings at the back of my playsuit.
And then what happened?
He kept stroking me.
Can you show us where he stroked you?
Well, sort of round here.
I see. And then what happened?
Nothing. I got down and made Mrs. Bray a nice cup of tea.
Can you remember, Pauline, what happened on March the 11th?
Yes, I can.
Now, would you tell the court what happened on that night?
Well, I was in bed, in my room. Suddenly he came in, put the light on. Then he went and closed the curtains because they were blowing about in the wind. Then he got into bed with me, and I screamed.
And what did you do then?
Well, I said, "Go away, Uncle Eddie, I don't want you in bed with me."
And did he go away?
No. He told me a story and then started tickling me.
Where did he tickle you, Pauline?
He tickled my bum. Shall I tell you what he said?
Yes.
He said, "Pauline, you're getting a nice little bum on you."
Thank you, Pauline, very much. Stay where you are.
Will you stay there? Thank you.
Shall we move on, Mr. Goodman?
Yes. Hello, Pauline. My name's Goodman. I'm going to ask you a few questions now. I want you to be just as truthful with me as you were with Mr. Atkinson. Now, you've told us that Uncle Eddie gave you presents. Did you have to ask for those, or did he give them to you without being asked?
Well, I had to tell him what I wanted because he didn't know what I liked.
What sort of thing did you tell him that you wanted?
Clothes and records. Bought me a record player, but it broke and we took it back.
Pauline, who would you say is your best friend?
I don't know.
Do you ever play with other children on the caravan site? Go to visit them? Go to tea, perhaps?
Tea? They don't ask you to go to tea in the caravans. They tell you to clear out the road.
You don't like the caravans?
No.
Why not?
Well, everybody's always on top of you. Got on me dad's nerves.
Do you get on well with your dad?
He's all right.
Did you ever run away from home?
When I was little, because Barry kept having fits.
Did that frighten you?
Oh, yes. I had to sleep with him.
Now, was Uncle Eddie ever unkind to you?
He broke his promise.
What promise was that?
He were going to buy me a new bike, a new chopper.
Oh.
But he never.
Why did he promise to buy you a new bike?
He said I was his little sweetheart. So I told him. Buy me a bike then. Said he would.
Now, when Uncle Eddie had, as you said, done things to you, the first time in September, did you tell your mother straight away?
No.
Why not?
And I was frightened she might hit me.
So you went back and stayed with Uncle Eddie again after it had happened?
Yes.
But if you thought what he'd done was bad, why did you go back again?
Well, I was afraid my mum might hit me.
Yes, but you knew you hadn't done wrong, didn't you? Why should you be afraid you might be punished?
I don't know.
Is there going to be much more of this, Mr. Biddle?
It's all right, Pauline. I've nearly finished now. Pauline, do you ever have bad dreams?
Sometimes.
On the night when Uncle Eddie came into your room, had you had a bad dream that night?
No.
Are you quite sure of that?
Yes.
When you did have a bad dream and got very frightened, did Uncle Eddie ever cuddle you?
If I let him.
Pauline, do you think it's possible that Uncle Eddie just wanted to cuddle you and look after you because you'd had a really terrible dream? Well, look, would you like to tell us about the dream you had that night?
No, I don't know. I don't remember. He did bad things to me.
What were the bad things?
Well, he scared me with ghosts and stories and that. He said all the scarecrows get together at night and go on the march, and if you listened, you could hear them tapping at the windows. And if they got you, be a scarecrow for the rest of your life.
What did he do to you?
I don't remember. It was horrible. He wouldn't buy me a bike, and he'd done things to me.
Mr. Goodman, do you think that any useful purpose will be served by continuing this cross-examination?
No, ma'am. I think I got as far as I can with this witness.
Right.
Thank you, Pauline.
Mr. Atkinson?
Madam?
No.
You may stand down, Pauline.
Thank you very much, Pauline.
Hold on, Pauline.
Thank you.
I should like to call Detective Sergeant Wheatley.
I don't like him. I like the other man best.
This door, please.
Detective Sergeant Wheatley.
You can come in now. Quickly as you can, please.
Silence in court.
I swear by Almighty God, the evidence I shall give in this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Detective Sergeant Wheatley, C Division, Thames Basin, Stanley.
Please give the court your evidence, officer.
On March the 13th, acting on information received, I interviewed the defendant at his home in company with P.C. Williams. Also present was the defendant's mother, Mrs. Adelaide Bray. I said to him, "Do you know Pauline Poole, aged 13, of Bel Air Caravan Site?" He said, "Yes, she often comes to visit me." At this point, Mrs. Bray said, "Eddie's got
Just one moment, Sergeant.
At this point, Mrs. Bray said, "Eddie's got himself a little sweetheart." And I said, "I'm afraid the girl's mother has made a serious allegation against you. She says her daughter has complained that on 2 occasions in the past 7 months you've indecently assaulted her." I cautioned him, and he said, "I've never harmed a hair of that kiddie's head." At this point, Mrs. Bray again said, "Eddie's got himself a little sweetheart."
Did the defendant show any emotion during this interview?
There was some difficulty in making him understand he had to accompany me to the police station. He offered no physical resistance as such. At 8:50 p.m. at the police station, he dictated the following statement. After the formal caution, it reads, "I do not know what I'm supposed to have done. All I did was give Pauline a bit of love. She's my little friend, and I haven't made any secret of it."
As a result of your investigations, can you tell us something about the room where the child slept?
It was adjacent to the bedroom of Edward Bray.
What kind of bed was there?
A single divan-style bed 3 feet wide.
What else was in the room?
There was an armchair on which was some child's night attire folded, a nylon nightdress, a pair of slippers, size 4, comics, clothes, and evidence that gifts had been given, records, record player, cosmetics, etc.
Did you investigate the situation of the house in relation to number 6 Canal Cottages, the house occupied by Mrs. Taylor?
I did.
And what did you find?
I found that if a person stands by the fence joining the 2 gardens, he has a clear field of vision of 80% of the living room in the house next door.
Thank you, Detective Sergeant.
Detective Sergeant Wheatley, do you know how old the defendant's mother is?
Yes, sir. She's 79.
How would you describe her health?
She seemed robust enough to me.
Are you aware that she is suffering from senile dementia?
No.
Perhaps, madam, you'll accept from me that she has been known to the local authority welfare department for that reason for the past 6 years. Are you aware that such people are often incapable of assessing a situation with the accuracy of those in full possession of their faculties?
Yes, but Mrs.
Bray
seemed to understand and respond rationally to everything I said.
If it might assist, my friend, the prosecution attaches no significance to the mother's remarks.
Obliged, my learned friend. Would you say from your inquiries that the defendant is a cunning or a devious man?
On the surface, no, but one cannot always be sure.
Have you any reason to believe Mr. Bray devious or cunning?
No.
No further questions.
I have no further questions. If your worships have none, perhaps you could release the officer.
Thank you, officer.
That concludes the case for the prosecution.
Case to answer, madam?
Case to answer.
Mr. Goodman, would you proceed with your case?
Thank you. I should like to call the defendant's employer, Mr. Samuel Stubbs. I call this witness before the defendant, as he has urgent business appointments up north.
Samuel Stubbs.
Oh, hello.
Will you tell the court your full name, please?
Samuel William Stubbs.
And your address?
The Old Forge, West Felling.
Thank you.
Mr. Stubbs, how long have you known the defendant?
Eddie? Oh, let's see now. Well, he's been working for me ever since he came out the army. That's 16 years ago.
In what capacity is he employed by you?
Well, I own 2 sawmills, and Eddie works for me in my mill at West Felling. Sort of general labouring.
How do you find him as a workman?
Oh, most reliable.
Is he a good timekeeper?
Well, he's more reliable than the village clock, if you know what I mean. I mean, I've known that to stop. But unless you told Eddie to knock off, I reckon he'd still be at it when he came in the next morning.
From your knowledge of him, would you say he was a truthful man?
He would know how to tell a lie.
How does he get on with his colleagues at work?
Well, you see, Eddie's one for getting on with the job, really. I mean, he ain't got much time for a lot of mixing and things.
Were you aware that he knew Pauline Poole?
Oh, yes. Well, I mean, everyone knew, didn't they? I mean, he used to bring her down to the mill sometime. It was Saturday morning.
How would you describe his manner with Pauline?
Well, I'd call it fatherly myself.
Do you regard the defendant as still in your employment?
I most certainly do.
Thank you, Mr. Stubbs.
Mr. Stubbs, how much does the defendant earn?
Oh, about £18 a week.
And how does that compare with what your other employees earn?
Well, that really depends on their skill, you know.
Would you say that Mr. Bray's wages are amongst the lowest at the mill?
Yes.
You really do value his contribution to your business, do you?
Yes, I do indeed.
Your eagerness to testify on his behalf isn't coloured, is it, by your fear of the cost to your business if you were to lose him?
I've told the truth. I'm on oath. I am a lay preacher.
I'm sorry, Mr. Atkinson, but are you suggesting that this man is perjuring himself in order to exploit...
I withdraw the question.
Thank you.
Mr. Stubbs, do you know anything about the defendant's private life?
That's none of my business.
Thank you, Mr. Stubbs.
Thank you, Mr. Stubbs. You may stand down.
This way.
I call Edward George Bray to take the witness stand.
Come along, Mr. Bray. Mr. Bray.
In here. What is your religion?
Church.
Which church?
West Felling Church.
Ah, Church of England. Will you please take the testament in your right hand, no, your right hand, please, and read the words on the card?
I swear by
Almighty God.
Almighty God that the evidence I shall give in this court shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Thank you.
Mr. Bray, I'm going to ask you quite a few questions, so if you don't understand anything, please ask me to repeat or rephrase the question. Remember, you're on oath, and answer everything as truthfully as you can. All right?
Yes, sir.
When did you first become friendly with Pauline Poole?
Last summer.
Can you tell us something of the circumstance of that first meeting?
She was about. I mean, she was always about.
Do you recall meeting her in the field one morning when she was on her way to school?
She didn't half like them mushrooms.
What mushrooms were they?
I was out gathering horse mushrooms. You have to get 'em early, before the dew goes off 'em.
When did you next see her?
A couple of weeks later, she came up to the house with Melanie. She asked if she could have some raspberries off the cane. Then she started coming up on her own.
Weren't you surprised?
No. I was as pleased as Punch. She used to help me mum shell peas. Proper little housewife she was.
Did your mother welcome her?
She used to call Pauline her little sweetheart.
Did you ever call Pauline sweetheart?
We both did. She was.
When did you first ask permission of Mr. and Mrs. Poole for Pauline to visit you?
Must have been September time, because I took 'em a box of homegrown kidney beans.
Did they seem happy for Pauline to come and see you?
Oh, yes. I knew her for years, Mrs. Poole.
How did they strike you as parents?
She came up to the house once or twice with bruises on her that her dad had given her. I bathed them in vinegar and greased them for her.
Now, what arrangements did you make for Pauline to stay in your house?
Decorated the spare room from top to bottom.
And you did ask Mrs. Poole if it would be all right for Pauline to come and stay?
Yes.
Mr. Bray, how did you get on with Mrs. Taylor, your next-door neighbour?
We had a bit of a row, like.
What about?
She cut off the branches off our tree. Said they was hanging in her garden. I mean, that really grieved me, that did.
How much do you earn, Mr. Bray?
Clear about £16 a week. But I make a few coppers extra because I sell vegetables like taters and peas and beans and things.
And how much rent do you pay?
£3.20. But I always put a bit by, though.
Did you ever give money to Mrs. Poole?
Yes. Since Christmas. £2 a week every week.
Didn't you need the money for yourself?
I don't smoke, and it's very rare I take a drink.
You didn't think that Mrs. Poole might be taking the money as payment for letting Pauline stay with you?
No.
But you did give Pauline presents?
Yes. I told her if there was anything special she wanted, to ask.
Did you give her a record player?
Yes.
Did Pauline enjoy herself at your home?
We had picnics in the garden, and I built her a swing.
How would you regard your relationship with Pauline? Well, how do you get on with her?
She's my little sweetheart.
Do you love her?
Answer the question, Mr. Bray.
Yes.
Mr. Bray, can you describe what you mean by love in that context?
Wanted to take care of her.
Have you ever done anything to cause Pauline any distress?
I had to pull her up once or twice for being rude to me mum.
Have you ever hurt her?
No.
Have you ever had any sexual feelings towards her?
Never entered my head.
Did you ever touch her?
Might have given her a cuddle.
Do you think Pauline was happier with you than she was at home?
Well, she never ran away from me.
Now, you spent a lot of time with Pauline. How did you spend that time?
Chatted away like a little magpie. She used to really make me laugh.
Can you remember what happened on September the 6th? Now, this is the first day of term, do you remember?
When we were watching telly?
That's right.
She came and sat on my lap.
Did you, while she was sitting on your lap, at any time, touch her indecently?
What?
Well, did you touch her in her private parts?
No.
Did you play with the strings of her sunsuit?
Yes. She used to undo my shoelaces.
Did you touch any other part of her body?
Might have given her a little stroke. I mean, she's got a bloom and I like damsons.
Did you stroke her lower regions, her buttocks?
Where?
Well, her bottom.
Yes.
Was there any sexual intention?
No. She liked me to pat her bum.
Was she angry or upset?
No.
Now, can you remember the night of March the 11th?
No.
Pauline has said in evidence that you went into her room on that night.
Well, she was screaming out and having a nightmare.
Did she often have nightmares?
No. But when she did, she used to get upset.
And did you on those occasions go into her room?
Well, I had to.
On the night of March the 11th, did you get into bed with Pauline?
Yes.
Wasn't that rather a foolish thing to do?
She was crying out and carrying on.
What were you wearing when you got into bed with her?
My pyjamas.
What did you do?
Gave her a little cuddle.
What did you say to her?
Told her not to be afraid, it was only a silly dream.
Did you say, Pauline, you're getting a nice little bum on you?
Said she was growing into a big girl.
How long did you stay in the bed?
Till she dropped off.
Did she go to sleep quite easily?
Yes.
What was she like in the morning?
She was a bit funny. She asked me to take her into Uxbridge and buy her a bike.
And did you?
No, I couldn't afford it.
How did she behave when you refused to take her into Uxbridge?
She threatened to tell on me.
Mr. Bray, how did you feel when you knew that Pauline had said these horrid things about you?
I felt sick.
Was there any truth in what Pauline had said?
No, none at all.
Thank you, Mr. Bray.
Now, Mr. Bray, you said you met Pauline while you were gathering mushrooms.
Yes.
Did you know that many of the children from the caravan site had to pass through that field on the way to get to school?
Yes.
So it would be a convenient place for anyone to be who intended to get into conversation with the children.
Yes, it would.
The next time you saw them, they were knocking at your door asking for raspberries.
Yes.
And after that, Pauline came back on her own.
Yes.
You say you knew Pauline before you spoke to her.
Yes.
Now, is it not true that you picked on Pauline because you knew her family had so many worries they wouldn't be able to keep track of what you were getting up to with the girl?
No.
You say it was your idea that Pauline should spend the night?
Yes.
I suggest that the whole operation was planned to get the girl to stay overnight.
No.
Isn't it unusual for a man to give £2 a week to a family who are not even his particular friends? Did you feel it was an agreement between you?
Yes.
That you were buying Pauline from her?
No.
But you just said it was an agreement.
Well, it was an agreement. Gave it to him because I wanted.
Would Mrs. Poole still have continued to let Pauline visit you if you hadn't given her the money?
Yes.
Don't you think it odd, Mr. Bray, that a man of your age should spend so much of his time kissing and cuddling a girl of 13?
Well, it wasn't all kissing and cuddling.
But you did kiss and cuddle her.
Sometimes.
She sat on your lap.
Yes.
You stroked her.
Yes.
And you're asking us to believe that there was no sexual intention.
There weren't, Amy.
Would it not have been more appropriate, Mr. Bray, to be kissing and cuddling somebody your own age?
I never found one.
If you wanted to cuddle children, would it not be more logical to kiss and cuddle your own?
I haven't got any.
You came into her room on the night of March the 11th.
Yes.
Now, you say that the little girl was frightened that evening.
Yes.
Did you not tell her that scarecrows went on the march at night, and that if they came and took her away, she would have to spend the rest of her life as a scarecrow?
My old mum used to tell me that.
You told her that tale, didn't you? So that later she would become frightened and cry out for help, thereby giving you an excuse to go into her room in the middle of the night.
I only wanted to comfort her.
No, but you wanted her distressed first.
No. Yes. I mean, I like to comfort her.
No, but you got into bed with her.
Yes.
Well, surely, Mr. Bray, you know it isn't right to get into bed with a girl of 13 who is unrelated to you.
I never did nothing wrong.
You said you wanted to give her a bit of love. Now, just what do you mean by that?
Wanted to comfort her.
You did tell her she was getting a nice little bum on her, didn't you?
I was only telling her she was growing up.
Now, why then did you deny earlier using these words?
I don't know. I liked that little girl, I mean, she's all I've got.
Keep calm, Mr. Bray. Now, just take your time, and then you can answer the questions. All right?
Mr. Bray, you say Pauline was in a funny mood the morning after you got into bed with her.
I don't know.
She knew she had been assaulted. Would not that account for the change of mood?
Only gave her a bit of love.
Exactly. The kind of love that no child of 13 should get from anyone.
No.
Thank you, Mr. Bray. I have no further questions.
Madam. Thank you, Mr. Bray. Will you stand down, please?
This way.
That concludes the case for the defendant.
Very well, Mr. Goodman.
Do you wish to address the court, Mr. Woodman?
If you please.
Yes, Mr. Goodman.
Your Worships, it has emerged that Pauline complained to her mother only after the second occasion on which Mr. Bray allegedly demonstrated his affection towards her. Pauline's evidence would suggest that she was motivated in her complaint by a fit of pique because of Mr. Bray's refusal to buy her a bicycle. We have learned that Pauline has run away from home, that she has a vivid imagination, and that she is, I believe, capable of malice. In other words, she is a deeply disturbed child, and these facts cannot fail to derogate from her credibility. As to the evidence of Mrs. Taylor, we have learned that she has quarrelled with Mr. Bray on other matters. She affirms that she could see from a neighbour's garden that Mr. Bray was stroking the child's buttocks. Well, you may well wonder at the remarkable powers of vision of this lady, given the seated posture of the girl. But on the second occasion, on March the 11th, she says that she saw Mr. Bray at the window, go to the window and draw the curtains. So she could not, and did not see anything that may have passed between them on that occasion. As to the evidence of Mr. Bray himself, the prosecution contends that he is a devious and calculating man who planned an assault upon Pauline Poole over a period of many long months. But at no point has sexual intent been convincingly ascribed to any of his actions. I would suggest that this court has heard nothing to indicate that the relationship was in any way criminal. There is so much doubt that I invite your worships to acquit the defendant.
Mr. Goodwin will be about half an hour.
Another 30 minutes.
Stand up, Mr. Bray. Stand up.
We find this case proved.
But I only gave her a bit of love.
Is anything known?
One previous conviction, ma'am. Found guilty of indecent exposure at Rystep Lido, April the 12th, 1952.
Is that all?
That's all, ma'am.
That seems a very...
May I remind you, madam, that there is a pre-trial report.
Sit, Mr. Bray.
You do have a copy of this, do you, Mr. Goodman?
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
You see, now this is, you've got so many things to consider. Yes, indeed, that's a little again. Also. Mr. Goodman, do you want to ask any questions of the probation officer?
Please, ma'am,
Yes, certainly.
John Graham, ma'am, probation officer. Mr. Graham, you say in your report that Mr. Bray does not relate readily to adults and has an unusual dependency upon his home environment. Could you explain more fully what you mean by that?
Well, because of his backwardness, he's always found it very difficult to relate to adults, especially strangers. In West Felling, he does achieve a precarious balance because most of the people there have been around all his life, and they accept him. He has an institutionalized role, and this saves him from very disturbing situations where he might have to form new relationships. He wouldn't be able to cope. Indeed, his only real relationship is with his mother, but she's nearly 80 and senile. And his attempt to form a relationship with Pauline Poole seems to me to have been a substitute for this. He scarcely seems to have been aware of its implications, and indeed found it difficult to distinguish that she was, in fact, a child. He is, in effect, little more than the child himself.
But you also say in your report that you think he will derive no benefit from imprisonment.
What he needs is a stable and familiar environment. Otherwise, I'm afraid he may disintegrate completely. I find it very hard to make an appropriate recommendation.
But in your report you do recommend probation.
Yes, but with reservations. What he needs is a close and intensive social supervision that the probation service is not empowered to provide.
Are you saying, Mr. Graham, that you would be unable to implement any probation order that this court may make?
Excuse me, ma'am, what I meant was that a probation order in itself wouldn't supply the intensive care that I think he needs.
Oh, that's all very well, but you can't recommend something which doesn't exist. Is the Social Services Department involved with the mother?
Yes, a home help has been provided for the past few weeks.
Well, home help isn't going to help him very much. I'm sorry, do proceed, Mr. Goodman.
Thank you. Yes, you say that Mr. Bray has attended a special school for the educationally subnormal. What course of treatment is normally recommended for such people?
Well, there is no treatment for backwardness. Many of them find their way into prison.
Thank you, Mr. Graham. That's all I've got to say, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Graham. Mr. Goodman, do you want to address the bench in mitigation?
Yes, ma'am.
Certainly.
Well, here we have a man of limited attainment and simple outlook, living alone with his mother, whose own powers and ability to look after herself are rapidly failing, and a 13-year-old girl, avid for the parental affection which has been denied her. This child and this man have encountered each other by chance and for a time have been able to offer each other support and companionship. You'll see, having read the report, ma'am, that Mr. Bray's mental age is assessed at approximately 13, so it should perhaps not surprise us that he sought out the company of a 13-year-old. It appears also unlikely that he will derive any benefit from psychiatric help because of his limited intelligence, which is matched with an emotional retardation. I urge your worships to sentence in keeping with these powerfully mitigating factors.
Oh, very unsatisfactory. I can't possibly send him to prison.
Well, a fine, perhaps. Make him realise he's done wrong.
A fine isn't going to give him the help that he needs.
A suspended sentence, 6 months, say. That's fair enough.
No, John, no. What he needs is regular contact with some social worker.
Yes, he does.
I'm afraid it'll have to be probation. I can't think of something.
There's no other cause, no.
There's two.
Yes. Yes, I agree. Yes.
Stand up, Mr. Bray. Stand up.
Edward George Bray, I want you to listen very carefully to what I'm going to say. And if there's anything you don't understand, will you please tell me so?
Yes, ma'am.
What you have done is very wrong indeed. You must not get involved with other people's children in that kind of way. You're going to be placed on probation for 2 years. This means, firstly, that you will have to report regularly to your probation officer whenever you're told to do so. Secondly, that you will live an honest and industrious life. Thirdly, that you will get into no further trouble. And lastly, that you will not change your address without telling your probation officer. Do you agree to probation?
Yes, ma'am. Thanks. Will I be able to see Pauline? I mean, just sometimes.
No, probably not. Everything will be explained to you by the probation officer. You may go.
Come along, Mr. Bray.
What has struck us very forcibly is the appalling conditions in which Pauline Poole is growing up. I find it difficult to believe that people live in caravans from choice, especially families with sick children. They're not, after all, gypsies. Now, can anyone tell me what has happened to Pauline Poole since this case arose?
Yes, Pauline Poole is now in one of the local authorities' reception homes, madam. She appeared before the juvenile court 2 weeks ago, and an interim care order was made.
Oh, good. The court is adjourned.
Court rise.
bloody probation. He needs locking away, that's what he needs. And you think I'm going to let it rest here? I'm going to go to the papers about it. I mean, none of our children are safe when he's around. Let go of me. You're not going to let him look. We've got
Mm.